What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition. Is it a special? I don't know if it's special. It's special just because it's a different day. It's been kind of a crazy week. Cameron Cox here, Chili there. This is
What
Dropping
up?
Dimes. What's going on, man?
Shoot, it's been a busy week, man. There's a lot going on. One of the top basketball games in the country taking place here in Arizona last night.
Yep.
All these college football coaches matriculating through the valley. Seeing Dan Lanning out there, our own Sean Aguano maneuvering,
Okay.
and the young hot boy straight out of Brophy, U of A, been a few places. Now taking over his own wide receiver room. Caleb Moore over at Portland State. Me and him were able to grab some lunch and chop it up about some of these prospects out here. So it's just been cool, man, just to see all these guys and all these kids getting to see all these coaches coming to town and chase their dreams.
So just to be clear, you tell them, hey, man, nice to see you, but get out, right? Like this is a certain town. This is a certain, country. You gotta, these
Look,
college coaches, they can't be coming in here taking away some of the
hey,
top talent.
Listen, the beautiful thing about it is it shows what kind of football state Arizona really is. You have
Sure.
Texas A&M coming trying to, invade Desert Edge and take all that hot talent over there. I saw Oregon was heavy over at Basha trying to
Yeah.
keep everybody green. I seen Iguano turning over every rock over there chatting with him and Dillingham over there going to try to grab that running back from O'Connor and
Ooh.
talking to Joe Haney from Mesa, super talented defensive player over there. So I just think that stuff is fantastic. Just seeing all these guys, U of A's trying to get that action in the Valley, trying to keep their momentum going. But everybody knows, look, man, the Valley's activated, and if Dillingham wants him, Dillingham gonna get him. It's just a matter of what
Oh,
he.
listen, well, I hope you're right. We haven't seen that, just so we're clear. We have not seen that, but I hope you're right.
It, it's tough, and at the end of the day, and Dillingham said it best a long time ago. I believe he said something to the effect of, the kids can always come back home. They go out see what it is, and they're welcome to try to come back home. Barring any craziness through the recruitment process
Sure.
and stuff like that. But I mean, if the opportunity arises, look, Raiden Vinesbright came back home, and
Oh,
I know that Dillingham would be open to opening his doors for a lot of these guys that want to come back, if they've proved themselves to be at that level. Look,
you know what? We
he,
should start giving out a chili belt for like the athlete that comes home. That's what we should see the belt right
oh,
behind you. That's what you should do. The transfer portal, come back home,
wow.
championship belt. How's that?
Oh man. Hey, I mean, yeah, I'm listen, what at the end of the day, I try to support the kids in whatever their dreams are, wherever it takes them. But I'm a two-time Sun Devil graduate, and nothing would make me happier than to be able to continue to cover these guys here in their home state, where their driver's licenses are from. So there's that. But
Should put
hey,
that on a t-shirt. Should have it where your driver's license are from.
hey, it's tough. Hey, Cam, listen, it's tough. A lot of us aren't from here, right? So, we make Arizona home, and I'm not mad at Dillingham with the Cali pipeline and the Texas pipeline. It brings more good people into the valley to see what this place is about. But yes, the truth is I would like to see more of Arizona's top football talent stay here. But
Yeah.
sometimes they got to spread their wings. Look, Cam Cox had to come to Arizona and spread his wings and become a champion of the people. He's got his own flight club belt going on.
I
So,
do. I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
both of us,
This
so
is home, man. It is cool to see. While you've been out and about running around, talking to all these coaches, we moved. In case you can't tell behind me,
I can
I feel
tell.
like, one this desk is, kind of can stand up a little bit. So I feel like I'm like Nash mission control, like hey, T minus 4 seconds to launch speed, 2, 1, for liftoff. I feel like this is our new newsroom, Chili. So welcome in. You like the first person outside of our bubble to see the new newsroom.
It looks busy.
It looks,
It looks
it
busy.
looks.
I
I,
like it.
I don't know
I
what we all
like it.
doing, but I feel like we all doing something here, right?
That's cool, keeping the motion, I think that that's healthy, and especially in a newsroom, it's good to, I'm sure everybody's working to find, the good, feel good stories. There's
Stories.
other stories out there, but,
Sure.
like the tragedy that happened on Sunday over there at Arizona Activity Grounds,
Yeah.
Athletic Grounds or whatever.
The 7-on-7.
Terrible, terrible situation, man. And a lot of people have hit me up asking for my opinion and my story
Just
on it,
real
what I
quick before
felt.
you get to that, just so people know, there was a 7-on-7 tournament here in the Valley, and it got shut down. It's a national tournament, correct? And there were teams from all over there,
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
teams from all over, and it got shut down because of some fights that happened. Adults getting a little bit too out of control. A lot of police officers were called to the scene. No serious injuries or anything like that. So thankfully, nothing like that took place. But it did get shut down, and it did start a conversation that I know I hit you up to as well about Chile, about 7-on-7 and the culture. And is it good for the kids? Is it bad for the kids? Um, a lot of people on social media speak out that it's not the best culture out there. I thought when you and I were talking, I know you have some strong thoughts on it, but I thought you said a really good line that it's like every 7-on-7 event is like a ticking time bomb in a sense, where it's
Every
sure,
sporting event, like
and it's
doesn't
it's
matter
just
what level.
it's and in a sense it's just people on the outside that aren't playing getting way too competitive, and I think they lose track of what's
Agreed.
truly important in some of those events. And I think in 7-on-7 you got everybody out there, some I'll say this, some are wannabe coaches, some are real coaches, some are, they want these kids to do well and they feel like it's important that they grow and learn the sport. Other people have alternative motives, when they attach themselves to these 7-on-7 teams. So I agree with you. I think it's overall the competition, not just on the field, but the competitiveness of the whole environment just seems too high in some sense. When I was growing up, listen, we played 7-on-7 with our high school. You did it to practice.
It's called passing league.
Yeah,
This is called passing league.
you played in some tournaments. I just want people out there to know that you can do it for free. You can do it anytime you want. You do it with your teammates. I mean, it doesn't have to be this official capacity. And by the
Yeah.
way, playing 7-on-7, there's no pro league for that. There's no,
No,
just so
not
we're clear
yet. I
with
mean,
that. Just
no, not
there's
yet.
just there's no pro league for that. You still got to translate it to real football or go play flag football. And
For
so
sure.
I just want
Look,
people to keep in mind in that it is just practice, and it's designed to practice your skills to get
yes.
you better at either the main sport, which is football, or now the new sport, which is flag football. So just so we're clear on
Compete.
that. Compete.
Compete and play hard and play with passion and you have your teams obviously, so support your guys that are in the same uniform as you, but like man, it doesn't have to be so cutthroat. Like you don't we don't need all the theatrics of the celebrating and using other kids as using your opponents as props. Like it's absolutely
That's
like insane.
Yeah, Chili, that's the part that I don't like. The social media aspect to it.
Well, social media has killed a great many
No,
industries.
but no, but it's
Everything's breaking news these days.
yeah, the social media aspect to it can create a toxic environment because it is practice. It is you score a touchdown. Congratulations, you scored a touchdown in practice.
For sure.
But it's that, and people lose track of that. They see somebody break somebody's ankles or somebody get mossed on, or a kid get embarrassed, and that clips get shared all these times. I hope a lot of these kids, in these younger divisions don't have social media. I hope parents are smarter than that, and so they never see a lot of this stuff. But then, like a lot of these people are profiting on that. It's just, it's interesting. It's a weird thing. There are some people that do it right. You and I know a lot of them. I like your league, Chili. We know
I appreciate
Toby
that.
Bourget, who does a really good job with the Tucson turf down there, and we know what the Bourgets stand for and what they teach and all the above. And so there are some places out there that do it right. I know a number of high school coaches that, run leagues and run events and sevens and different things for them to practice and all kinds of things. And I know they believe in a lot of good things. But it is interesting. Some of these big tournaments, or however you want to phrase it, these things that go all over the country. I don't know if it's it's the best environment. I'll put it that way.
Listen, I've been at red zone tournaments, not this one that I was at this one this past weekend on Saturday, but I've been to other ones where unfortunately there was a fight and I was in the middle of it. I might have been the only adult in the middle of it trying to separate kids, break things up without trying to pour gas on the flames. Like it
Yeah,
was already burning. Like it's not necessary to pour gas on the flames and keep talking crazy. Just get your kids, get to your sideline, get somewhere safe so that the situation doesn't get worse. You don't need somebody coming out of nowhere and knocking somebody else out like Greg Anthony did to Kevin Johnson 30 years ago,
yep,
at the Purple Palace. You don't need malice at the palace. You got to try to extinguish the flames as a grown adult. You got to try to extinguish the flames. If you're a parent, once you start seeing these fights starting to take place, break loose, grab your kid, and get back to your sideline.
yeah.
You don't need to amp this thing up by yelling at another coach or yelling at another kid or grabbing another kid that isn't your own. Like, be very, very careful in those situations. Listen, Cam. The truth is we need better adults in the community creating a better place for these kids. Listen, my tournament, as much as a lot of people love it and some people hate it, my tournament isn't immune. I had a fight a couple of years ago, and I had to send both teams home, and I had to ban one team for an extra year because a lot of teams didn't want to participate if they played. But I've talked to coaches since then, and I've talked to some of the parents that were around the situation,
Yeah.
and we've been able to smooth the whole thing over. Flight Club hasn't had an incident like that since then. So, there's no level of sport that is immune to this. Just on Monday night,
No,
you you,
and
you saw you saw the kid from
yeah,
Miami take a swing at the kid from Indiana.
and we see a lot of the problem is I guess that the question is youth sports is we're the 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 professionalism that's coming with youth sports, and to me it's just kind of crazy, and I just wish a lot of these young coaches would turn it down a notch, cool off a little bit, and let these kids be kids, let these kids
Which
practice.
is what it's got to be
Yeah,
about.
it's gotta, and I think that's what they gotta keep in mind. Like, you can be competitive, you can fight to win, you can, try your best to win the game. You can get somewhat, not agree with every call out there, but to like take it to the next level where you're yelling at refs and people and taking that to the next level. I just don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah, and look, I know that Red Zone's going to have another tournament in the Valley here in a couple weeks, and obviously, I'm sure they're going to take different precautions to make sure that things work out better, and I'm sure they're going to handle the situation from what took place this past Sunday as good as well as they can. I think Jason Gourley is a terrific event manager, and that's what this is. It's an event, and he does it for the kids. He makes a little bit of money on it, I'm sure, but I just think that listen, Cam, we say this all the time. There are so many kids in this day and age that are sitting at home playing video games, or they're out in the streets being
Sure,
hooligans doing
sure,
doing the
sure, sure.
ridiculous stuff. Listen, 7-on-sevens isn't the worst thing. If your kid is out there playing 7-on-sevens, getting active, doing something positive for their body, for themselves, dude, fantastic. And I want to support that. D1 5-star, the Dolphins, OTB, Tucson Turf, a handful of teams out here do it really, really well. Your own school team does it. And like you mentioned, that stuff is for free. So, if they're playing sevens, I think that is a good thing that could be positive for them because it keeps them from just sitting at home, eating candy, playing video games, and it keeps them from, messing around in the streets and
Yeah.
getting into trouble because we know that that's what the streets are. But there are other things going on in the valley, hoops wise, that we got to talk about. The One of the top games in the country took place last night. Sunny Slope Millennium,
Unbelievable.
Thrillenium, absolutely incredible, and Slope taking care of business.
Slope taking care of business last night. By the way, I want to let everybody know I switched the view here on this. So if the for the first 10 minutes, if people were just looking at my face or Chili's face, I want to apologize. I'm still getting used to some of the new buttons out here at NASA Mission Control off East Van Buren. So we'll have that better. Yeah, Chili, what an unbelievable basketball game last night. It was just really cool to see. It was
Yeah.
really cool to see, man. You're talking what's crazy is when you look at where those teams are ranked nationally, to have a top five, top 10 team, top 10 game, I should say, downtown Phoenix last night, sold out gym. They were turning people away from the gym. It was so packed. You had a number of NBA scouts in the building. You had a number of scouts in general in the building. Former Suns head coach Mike Budenholzer was in the building last night, so that was interesting. Five, would you say five potentially future NBA players on the floor?
Sheesh.
Like, I mean,
In
it's
two or
it's
3 years.
it's sure. I mean, it's just what it seems like, Chili. But two great basketball teams battling it out. Like
Hey,
it was just cool to
I
see.
I got to show some love. You shouted out some guys locally, like our guy E Vision was out there, one of the best when it comes to recording basketball content. He's got a YouTube page that's super popping. Our guy Kevin McCabe was out there
Yep.
doing the Dean
Channel
things
12
out
was out
there.
there.
Cooking. Channel 12 was out there, so we made sure that we had this covered on all levels, not just Budenholzer coming through to
What
scout some future talent that he's
what
going to
Chili?
coach.
Yeah, well, not. I don't know about him coaching. We'll have to see about that. The last time didn't go too well, but it was just neat to see in the
What?
Valley everybody support high school basketball like that. We see a lot of support like that for football, Chile. We just don't see sometimes the same support for basketball. But when we go back through history here in Arizona, the names that have come out of here, the teams that have come out of here, not only was that a great game last night, but you had Red Mountain beating Mountain View on a buzzer beater to win the Battle of
Sheesh.
Brown Road. I saw Corona beat Desert Vista on a buzzer beater. I think in the women's hoops, I saw another buzzer beater. I can't remember the two teams, but it was just like a really cool night for high school basketball here in the Valley.
Hey, I do got to come back to this Sunny Slope Millennium game and show some love. Darius Wobbington led Sunny Slope
Hey,
with 20
he
points.
is a
An
monster.
absolute dude.
He brought down the rim one time, Chili. We showed these highlights last night, and man, they found him down low, and I thought the basket was coming with him. But it was neat. It was neat. I thought the basket was coming with him, and then the crowd behind him to see them go nuts. I mean, that's a big dude to me.
Hey, and then Ryder Portella had 18 points, was absolutely
He can
balling,
shoot
and
it. He can shoot it. That's the first time I've seen Ryder play like play. Uh, he can shoot it. He's got a
he,
he's
he's
got a great shot to him.
he's a stud. And then Jalen Idaran, I'm not sure if I'm
Yep, you
pronouncing that
are.
right. 14 points. Look, this team's absolutely loaded, 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 loaded. And I know everybody preseason with the Millennium hype. Aiden Diggs led Millennium with 19 and Cameron Holmes 17. Like I was told that Millennium was unbeatable, unbeatable in the state.
Well, when you're
So.
when you're told that information, Chili, it doesn't usually end up end up like how they tell it to you. You know, them kids they tell you these things and you get your hopes up and all this stuff. And sometimes these kids, Chili, they just embezzle. They just embellish the
Dang.
truth just a little bit. So,
My man Cam.
you know how that usually goes. You tell me like somebody's unbeatable, and it's like, oh, here we go.
And then, hey, listen, these teams are going to get it in again.
They
These
will.
teams are going to get it in
The
again, and
Open in basketball is going to be must see.
insane,
It's going to be insane.
insane,
Yep.
insane. But yeah, man, I just want to show eVision some love. I was staying tuned to his tweets all night. I was busy
Wait a
last night, so I
minute.
couldn't make it
You
out to the
whoa
game.
whoa whoa
So.
whoa 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 whoa. You couldn't go to the game?
No, no,
Biggest
no, no, no. It was sold out. It was sold out.
wait.
I didn't want to get held up at the door and told that I couldn't get in. I don't cover
Oh.
basketball that heavily. So like I'm not like Greg Rosenberg or one of those guys, Jacob Saliga. Like they're not making space for me at a basketball game. Like
I mean
if it's a
they
football
might
game,
they
if it's a
you know
football game,
what?
they might.
They would make space for you if you wore a suit. If you showed up in a suit. I called you the other day, you were at your house, your mom was there with you, and she was like
Oh
she
man.
was like begging you to wear a suit. And so if you would
Hey,
wear a suit, they would
hey
let you
man,
in. And maybe a tie. They would
you know,
certainly they
oh
might
now
put
you're
you on the
reaching.
score. They might put you on the scores table.
You're reaching now, but man, hey, listen, I might have to wear a suit for something, man, and this makes me really really sad. But I did want to talk to you about it because I know that me and you have been supporters. Um, man, I think the day is coming, and I think that the the people that want Bobby Hurley out, I think that we are close to that. Hearing Bobby talk after the game the other day, um, man, hearing him say that like his voice isn't reaching the team, man, Bobby. Not because Bobby is a legend from Jersey and a super special player in college basketball history, but Bobby is a good coach. I don't understand fully what the disconnect is, now realizing that there
I
fully
can.
is one.
I do.
But man, like
I could tell you.
I just want him to be successful here so bad. And I think he can be. He just isn't. And I don't know what the solution is. And I don't know if there's a
Well,
better coach out there in college basketball for ASU right now that you can get to replace him.
Chili, the solution is I think we're all clear what's happening. It's the beginning of the end. It was the beginning of the end last year, and I think Bobby speaks like a coach who knows his days are numbered at ASU. I don't think that's a massive secret or anything like that. Um,
But Cam, hold on. Just
Listen,
like me, you like Bobby.
I'm
And you
I'm
like
I'm a
Bobby for ASU.
yeah, I'm a massive supporter of Bobby Hurley. And just to read some of his quotes last night, it was hard to hear Chili as like the quotes were coming out after last night's loss to West Virginia. They played somewhat well, and then it just got away from them at the end. I don't know what this team is built for. They seem to have good, somewhat good talent. To me, they'll be an average team at best this year. And I think that's their ceiling. Like they don't have the big names. He doesn't have the big time budget to compete in the NIL world out there to go get guys. He had to be really creative with retooling this roster this year. And I thought he did the best job that he could. Masamba Diop is no doubt going to be an NBA player. Mo Odom can, I believe, find a G League
Is a
spot and
stud.
find a way to get on the roster.
I love
He's
Pig.
big too. He like Mo is one of the most competitive Sun Devils I've seen in the past 10 years. But for Bobby to say afterwards, like, there is no commitment to listening. My voice is not working. We haven't played well at home here in years. It's hard to hear, but he's right. He called it not a home court advantage. It has not been. He was also right in saying they had that thing humming right before COVID. Technically, he is the first ASU coach to lead them to three tournaments since like the 60s. I think he's been three tournaments. He had a chance to go three in a row that COVID year before it got canceled. He would have been the first coach to do that since the 60s too as well. Like the success has been there. It just has never recovered since since COVID. It just hasn't. It has fallen off, and it's been super hard to get players back. And the problem is, once it fell off, then NIL went this way, and so now he's competing against other teams, and he just don't have the bullets. He just doesn't have the money to compete with these other teams NIL wise, at least not yet. So he's had to get real creative. Last year they went all in on the NIL, and threw money at a couple of players who left. I mean, so he's tried and nothing's worked. And I think that's where Bobby is at right now. We're going to talk about a lot of that today on air, but that's kind of how he feels. Yeah, I'll say this: there's few who care more about their job and do more for their job than Bobby Hurley does at
Thank
ASU.
you.
And I think the hard part is he's done so much and put so much into it. What you're hearing is a guy who's just defeated because none of it is working. And he even said when he goes like this team is not listening and my voice isn't working. He also said in the same interview like he really enjoys coaching these guys. Like as far as likability and rosters that he has, like these guys that he has, he really likes this team. He's something with his stomach. He was like, other teams I could barely stomach to coach. This team he at least likes. It's just not working. That's what he's trying to tell you. It's just not working. And I think we all know what's coming after this year. I think he knows what's coming after this year. I think he knew kind of at the beginning of the year what was coming. And um, to me, where they're at right now is what this roster is you should expect. And we'll have to see if ASU makes a move after this. But like, look at what they spend. Look at what the top teams in the Big 12 spend. It's not close. Look at the talent at the top of the Big 12. Look at their roster. It's just not close. Now, could you be patient and let some of these young guys grow on this roster? Sure, but that's not the day and age of college basketball. Every time Bobby's got a young guy who we're like, hey, man, he just needs some time to develop. They go somewhere else. They leave after 1 year. So it's
Somebody
tough.
gives him some money. All right.
It's tough.
Moving on
It's
to
tough. It's tough.
maybe a little bit lighter situation because it is a retooling that's in progress. The Cardinals, the head coaching search
Yeah, we'll
for
we'll
them.
end we'll end on this. We'll end on this.
Oh, okay.
Um, we'll end on this. The Cardinals coaching search. It's funny.
Not go.
I I don't. This ain't lighter, Chili. I can't believe you said that. Like going into this. Um, I was talking. Listen, we're gonna come out more with information here in the next couple of days, but this is a job, Chili, that's very tough right now. I think the book is out. I really do. I've talked to a lot of people around the league, and I was just talking to somebody coming in. Like the book is kind of out on the Cardinals are the Cardinals. This job is not very coveted around the league. That's just how people view it. Sure, you could find somebody that, people haven't heard of because there's only one of 30, there are 32 jobs out there. Somebody's going to take it. But are they going to get top choice? No. Do they know the Cardinals' reputation and owner Michael Bidwell's reputation being hard to work for and being cheap at times? Yes. Am I now worried that they could be last again and have to pick from the last pool of assistant coaches who are left, just like Jonathan Gannon had to do 3 years ago? Yes. Would you last? You pick from all the coaches that are left over. And sometimes that's a hodgepodge of guys from all over that don't have a lot of experience. If they hire a first time coach, I'm worried that he's not going to bring an experienced staff with him, and if they hire a coach who has some experience, I'm worried that Michael's not going to surround him with the experienced staff that he needs. So Cardinal fans have a
Listen,
lot to be worried about. It's a real thing. It's a real thing that this job and what it's viewed at across the league, and that some of the big names have decided to go elsewhere or not even considering the Cardinals. It's a real thing.
man. When I said lighter, I just meant that they're gonna they're gonna be reborn. I didn't mean like
Oh, I
reborn
don't. Yeah,
with the spawn of Satan over
well, no,
here.
no, no.
Like,
We just don't know what that even. We don't even know what that means yet,
but
Chili. They gotta.
new is better than whatever has been transpiring over the last few seasons, regardless of the case. And this is something that we've talked about for the last few weeks. Bidwill just has to allow the coach to take full control of this team and the face of it, which is the quarterback, and figure out what direction he wants to go
Yep.
and with who. So that's the only way to handle that situation. Hey, shout out to your sons, man. Cam, you nailed it, and I got to give this one to you. We're gonna end it on this note. Actually, the Suns are absolutely killing it. Beat the hell out of my Knicks not once but twice, and I'm super impressed with the job that they're doing currently on the road trip. So
Yep.
like. Suns fans, Valley fans, they have a lot to be excited about in the coming months because I think that the Suns are actually going to make this playoff push and find themselves closer to the middle than the bottom and out of the play
Did
in
we?
if
Did,
Jalen buys in on defense.
I'm not worried about that. I
Okay.
think you're worried about the wrong thing. Did we bet on this? Did we have a dinner bet? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
we had a dinner bet. We got
Oh,
a
look,
dinner bet.
look at you.
It looks like I'm gonna have to own up on that one. So
That'd
it's
be
all
double.
good.
To be
With
double.
silverware.
Be double sides, and I like my steak medium, by the way. So we're just
With silverware. Yeah, we're
all right.
going somewhere with silverware. Let's
That'll do it
see.
for this edition of Dropping Dimes. Hey, next week we got some special guests lined up. I'll have the
Can't
technical
wait.
side kind of worked out.
I
Uh,
like this. I like this look.
yeah,
Looks like you're
yeah.
at the stock exchange or something, and everybody's just kind of
Just,
busy and
just
moving around, and there's all the TVs in the background.
I've
Like,
had to been a little quieter because we usually record this at night when nobody's here. But like I got people here working, my boss is over there having meetings, and my photographer's over here trying to work because I'm trying not to be too loud. But so we'll get back to our normal rowdiness Monday nights. And
can't wait.
by the way, this show comes out Thursdays, just so people know. But we usually record Mondays. We got some special guests lined up next week, so it should be a lot of fun. Chili, anything out the door?
Yeah, man. Just keep staying tuned to your boy on Twitter. There's a lot of coaches coming to the Valley, and I want to make sure that I support as many kids as possible. Chili's two piece every Tuesday, 7 o'clock ish on YouTube, and my Twitter at Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Y'all know the deal.
Man, let me write that down. Tell Dillingham that Chili talks to other college
Oh no,
coaches.
no, 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 no!
Okay, got
Don't
it,
do
got it, got it.
that.
Fair enough, fair
Don't do that. Wow, killing me.
enough.
Doing it. Hey, listen, ASU coaches know that I go to them
There,
first.
there
So,
there you go. There we go. There we go. See you next week, guys.
wow.